Hello and welcome back to the Battle Room, and today we have another top 4 set for you. Today we have Chongjun Peng, who's on the screen, with a team consisting of Incineroar, Groudon, Charizard, Zacian, Gastrodon, and Grimmsnarl. Pretty standard stuff, a team we've seen again. If you want to watch my other video where I commentate Joe's game, it's in the other one. Joe's also using the same team, so if you're interested in this team, I would go check out both top 4 matches. That's all I'm saying. Also, like, comment, subscribe. But we've got this team, which is really standard stuff we've seen before. A very potent, good team. And he will be facing up against Alex Arand with a team, with a Palkia Zacian team. So I think this should be a pretty exciting match. If Chongjun Peng is able to win, they will progress to the finals to play Aaron Trailer. And Aaron Trailer had just dispatched this team very narrowly, very barely, but beat the team nonetheless. So I'd be very interested to see if they're able to progress to face that matchup, because we'd have to see the changes in their team and how they play against Aaron. But also, it would be interesting to see Alex here with a Palkia Zacian team progress to the finals as well. I think both teams are super good, and I'm super interested to see how these pair off. Now, traditionally, I personally am, again, I'm very biased to the Groudon. I love the Groudon team. I'm very familiar with the Groudon team. So I consider myself kind of an expert. I know the team pretty well, so I'm able to add more insight onto that team. And I think when it comes to playing against Palkia, Palkia is actually really obnoxious for that team to play. It kind of depends on certain tech moves, such as if it's Iron Ball, Grimmsnarl, if you have Light Screen, if you have Spirit Break, stuff like that can be huge in terms of the matchup, and it can also be huge in how you deal with Palkia. So it's going to come down to really what the moves are and how he's doing it. But I do really like Max Groudon into this team. I think Max Groudon can go kind of hard into Palkia. I think Palkia hates getting Max Quaked against. And if you notice, Alex has no flying type Pokemon whatsoever. So clicking Max Quake until your finger falls off seems like a valid plan to me. And I think that's what we'll likely see. But also a good old Max Zard could cause endless issues as well. I'm excited to watch this one. Obviously, Chongjun is a different player than Joe, so we might see a different kind of plan. I mean, this is a different matchup as well, so we're going to see different kind of gameplay from this team, but I think this team is fantastic. So I'm a huge fan of that team, so I got to root for Chongjun. Sun team represent. But I'm curious to see how Alex approaches. I'm sure Alex has played against this 1,000 times. Like with the set with Trailer, Trailer had played against that tons of times. He knew what he wanted to do, knew what he wanted to target, and I think this is the same case here with Alex. I'm sure Alex has played against this team tons of times. And I do think that he's going to have a game plan here, and he's going to be comfortable and confident versus this team. So I'm curious to see how Chongjun deals up with that game plan, because I'm sure Alex is like auto lock in 4 months that he's used 1,000 times versus it. But like I said earlier, I think Max Quake spam is super potent here, and I would kind of hate to be Alex. Like, just spamming Max Quake into whatever's super effective seems like a really, really good plan, and setting up Light Screen. I'm not sure how you can deal with that outside of potential spores, but even Spore can be dealt with a good old double tap onto Amoonguss. So, I don't know. I like Alex's team, though. I like the double redirection. I think double redirection has become kind of a thing of the month, and I think it's really spicy and kind of zesty, and I like it. And I like Palkia. I've become quite a Palkia fan myself. I was using the Ice Rider version. But I do like Palkia. I think Palkia is one of the best maxes as a legendary in the game. I think not many legends actually can compare to Palkia's max in terms of damage output and also just boosts and helping your team set up. So we're going to see Palkia and DD lead. Love it. I think it's a great lead here. Into, let's see it, Charizard Groudon. Okay. I do like Charizard Groudon lead. It covers Amoonguss pretty well. You can set up just a max with Charizard there if you want to, and just Airstream Blades. Drought's gonna come before Psychic Surge. Okay, is that telepathy or pressure, Palkia? Did I miss the pressure? I might have missed it. But either way, I like the lead here. It threatens Amoonguss a lot, and I think Amoonguss was quite a likely lead. But I think you can also just Blades and Heat Wave if you want. I'm not sure if Trick Room's going to go up. Alex's team, Trick Room does seem kind of weird on it. I'm not going to lie. Trick Room does favor Palkia, but I don't think it helps much with Zacian, so I'm really curious to see how Trick Room is, and probably for Tailwind matchups. But let's see. I'm expecting just Palkia to max out the gate and maybe go for a Wormwind. I do like the switch into Zacian. It's pretty bold. It's saying, you're going to Wormwind my Groudon, aren't you? So, and we're going to see a turn 1 max from Charizard. So, I think Charizard max is pretty potent here. Especially with the threat of Gastrodon always switching in. Geyser's really hard to press, and I'm sure Gastrodon is in the back. So I think the Charizard max is fine. I do think Max Quake spam to the victory is not a bad plan either. And we're going to see that max from Palkia, yeah. This is just he's calling out a max Wormwind here with that Zacian switch, which I respect and I like. Because we could actually see a max guard from Charizard as well if he really wants to. But I'm expecting probably just a Airstream or Wildfire. Palkia's getting big. This is a fun one. This is a fun one. Because we could see a Max Quake. Like, they could hard call this. Go crazy. But you never know. You never know what you're going to get. We're going to see a Helping Hand. Is that going to be Wormwind? Is that Wormwind and Zard? Is my question. We're going to see a Wildfire turn 1, which I love. Wildfire. Let's go. Wildfire. Team Wildfire forever. Indeed, he lives with Sash. Good to know. I didn't know that was Sash. Good to know. Amoongu's probably Koba then. Okay. That's great information. Oh! Oh, it's in the Zard. It's in the Zard. Okay. Good play. Good play. And that's a one-hit KO. That was a fantastic play from Alex. That was good. That was good stuff. He got the Zacian slot in the wrong one. He moved Zacian into the wrong slot. Easy Wormwind into Zard. Zard's out of here. That's a good turn 1 for Alex there. You're trading a max turn for an entire max. And you're trading your Indeedee. Indeedee for Zard is a fair trade, though. I would take that trade 9 times out of 10. Whew. Okay. The 10th time I wouldn't take that trade is if the team was all Psychic Weak. Then I would conserve Indeedee. But 9 times out of 10. But I think Palkia is in a great spot now. That's a great KO. You can bring an Incin. You can bring an Amoongus. Either one is really fantastic here to weaken the Zacian, either with Rage Powder or with Intimidate Fake Out. So either one's great here. I think Incin would be better, but let's see if they brought it. Groudon comes in. And can we see an Incin, please? Oh, we see P2. Okay, so they didn't bring either one. I'm not sure why the P2 was brought. I'm really not a big fan of P2 in this matchup. Maybe the P2 is doing something that I don't know about. But, yep, Player Off's going to come through, doing big damage to Palkia. And we're going to see a Max Quake come through on his Zacian, which should probably KO because it's Life Orb Palkia. So that's another KO right out the gate for Alex here. The Wildfire was not worth. I mean, I guess we're going to trade here, aren't we? Wait, this actually is not horrible. Because depending on the last Mon, if it's Gastro, I think Gastron could win. If it's Gastrodon as the last 2, because I think Palkia goes down to Blades. If it doesn't, Wildfire will pick it up. So that's a KO. This has been so heavy. 2 Pokemon have been KO'd every single turn of the match. Wow. Foul play. It's just the normal foul play P2. Why did they bring P2? I would have loved to see Amoongus or Incineroar. P2 is a weird bring, in my opinion. Maybe Alex knows something about this matchup that I don't. I'm not super familiar with the Palkia side of the matchup, especially with P2. But I don't know. Let's see. It's going to be Zacian. And Incin is the last. Oh! Oh, baby. Even better for our boy Chongjun here. Incin is a fantastic last Mon here. We're going to lower that Intimidate. We can... This plays sick. Because... Or this turn is sick for Chongjun. Because he can either fake out P2, Blades, potentially KO P2 right there. Or he can fake out Blades and kill the other guy. Oh! He can't fake out Psychic Terrain. I caught myself, guys. I caught myself there. He's just going to Flare Blitz plus Blades. And that should probably, I think, net him the win. Unless it's like close compensation or something. But I think this should be an easy dub for Chongjun here. If I had to predict correctly here. I'm thinking it's an easy dub here. Blade's going to come through. I don't think this can kill Groudon. I mean, I know it can't kill Groudon. It has to get a critical hit here. I think P2 could beat Incin in the 1v1 if it needed to. But I think Blitz is just going to KO Zacian if Blades were to miss. But Blades doesn't miss, baby. And that is a dead Zacian to Wildfire. And it should just be... It's probably dead to Flare Blitz, but... It's going to go for the P2. Wow. Fantastic game from Chongjun. I really didn't like P2. I think that Alex was in a fantastic spot if Incin came in there or Amoongus. I think he literally had the one Pokemon that loses the game there. And so I'm not sure why P2... Like, what does P2 do? If Foul plays Eerie Impulse? What are Eerie Impulse and Groudon? Like, I don't know. I'm not loving the P2 at all. I think P2 is actually Turbo Throw. And I don't know. Because I thought if Incin or one of them came in, I thought the game was over for Chongjun. But now it's just over for Alex. He just... Wildfire, again. All he did was press Wildfire and it won him the game. Every single turn, Amon got KO'd, by the way. Every single turn of this game, a Pokemon fainted. That was an explosive 3 turns of the battle. Holy moly. I'm excited to see this set now. Like, I didn't think this set could deliver like Joe plus Aaron Trailer, because Joe and Aaron Trailer are just 2 legends. And yeah, that was a crazy set, but this one's looking good. Fire Punch, Flare Blitz, you can't miss. Alex is protecting. Dying to Wildfire, dying on his own terms. Mad respect for that one. But game 1 will go to Chongjun. Well played from Chongjun, honestly. Incin being the last Pokemon, fantastic stuff. Like, I mean, it could have been Gastron. I think he still would have won. But Incin was just like, man, that was good. That was a good ending. That was a good ending. Very controlling and demanding game, honestly. I think Sun... I think the Charizard max, like, stepped it up to 11 in terms of gas. Whereas, like, normally, if I were to play that matchup, I would spam Max Quake myself with Grimmsnarl as the partner. But, that worked fantastically for Chongjun. Just with the Charizard, Wildfire, and then just trading with Zacian. The trading was insane, but it was always favoring Chongjun until the end because he had Incineroar. He just needed to KO Palkia. He needed to KO an Indeedee. And then Incin was winning versus Zacian. So I just liked the game. I mean, I liked how he played that one. That was fantastic. So we're going to game 2. How can Alex adapt? Not bring P2. I think that's the big one. I think P2 is complete and utter deadweight. And I think Incin looks fantastic here. Incin intimidates Zacian and Groudon, which are the 2 restricteds, which he's going to bring 9 times out of 10. Intimidate's great. I think that Incin also helps deal Charizard, gives you a Wildfire resist, and also a Mon that can just kind of take a Wildfire if you needed to. It does bad versus Gastrodon, but it also does okay versus Grimmsnarl because Grimmsnarl can't do any of its shenanigans to you. And so I just think Incin is just fantastic here. It's crazy to me not to bring Incin. Maybe P2 had better plans. Maybe it had something else it wanted to do, but it just never really accomplished it. Because all we saw it do was press foul play, and then it died. Which, you know, like maybe it was just bad piloting of the P2 then. Like maybe he needed to look for a better position with P2. But I like the Indeedee Palkia open. I like the way he played it until P2 came in, so we'll see. I think Chongjun has like tons of options here. He could go for the Max Quake game plan that I mentioned earlier. Because I think that it's pretty fantastic because all you do is Quake with Gastrodon and Gastrodon becomes unkillable demon. And then you're just chilling. I like the Charizard lead though because it does put a lot of pressure on Amoonguss, which could be an issue. And we now know that Amoonguss isn't Sash, which is fantastic news. And so we'll have to see. I like the matchup again for the Groudon player. I'm curious to see if Groudon does win and then Aaron Triller has to play a repeat of what he just played and almost lost to. It really came down to a double protect and a play rough miss. So like I would say most of the time Aaron loses that, but he did power through, and I think that like he could easily come up with a new game plan to help deal with this version of the team. But we're gonna see the same lead from both players. I think both players' leads are pretty good. I respect them running it back. I think that the lead was great from Alex, and I think the lead was great from Chongjun. So I'm excited here to see what changes or what can happen here, because I think that helping in Wormwind could be fine, but what if Zacian switches in there, or what if, you know, like the Wormwind might target a different one, because Wormwind is really difficult to use like as a Palkia player. I know that pressing Wormwind is so scary because half the teams have Zacian, and Zacian can come in at any moment, but you can always punish it. That's the best part. We're gonna see Charizard withdraw. I feel like this is too telegraphed. I feel like I don't like this one because it's too telegraphed. Let's see if he falls for it though. But like also helping him Wormwind in his Zard is just good. So like this is super telegraphed, but it's also just good. Where's he double swap? In a Gastro. Oh baby, indeed he's gonna withdraw. I swear to God if it's P2. Alright, it's Incin. Let's go, Alex. I think that's a great adjustment. I think Incin's really good here. Into Incin. I like it because it also was going to take the Wildfire, but now it's just intimidating Zacian. It's already doing 10 times what P2 already did. I think it's doing more than P2 did with 1 Intimidate. Alright, Palkia is getting big. If this is a Max Geyser, not great. If it's a Wormwindization, not great. If it's a Max Quakenization, Pog. Let's see. It's really hard to tell what Alex is going to do. I feel like really, you really can't understand what you're going to do unless you're one of those two players. Like, I don't necessarily know what he's going to do at all. I really can't tell. Oh my God, the Max Geyser Chongjun. Oh my God, what a play! That was fantastic. That was fantastic gameplay. He adjusted expertly going into game 2. One of the max turns off already. Done. That's huge. Huge stuff. I love it. It was fantastic. I mean, you wasted a max turn. That is really brutal. I mean, I don't really know how Gastron gets really dealt with, to be honest. I feel like Gastron could max here, and that wouldn't be bad. He can max Groudon too. Like, I don't know. He's got a lot of control right now. A lot of control. So we're going to see a max here from Chongjun. It's probably going to be Gastro. It has to be Gastro. What am I saying? It can't be Zacian. I like the, like I mentioned earlier, Max Quakespan. Whether it's Groudon or Gastron, dude, it doesn't really matter, right? I like it nonetheless. I think we're probably going to see Protect from Zacian, maybe a substitute. But I think either way, it's looking pretty good. We're going to see player off come through on a Palkia. It does half, which is pretty good. Wow, actually just no protect. Oh, Wormwind. Oh, this is fantastic. It does do like a lot of damage, like almost half to max Gastron, which would have been close to an Oko. Life for Palkia does not mess around, dude. This Pokemon's crazy sometimes. And then we're going to see Darkest Lariat. That actually would have gotten the KO on the Gastrodon if it didn't max. But we're going to see a Juicy Max Quake come through. This is going to do big damage. I think the worst part about this is that Instant doesn't go. Okay. Wow. I think the worst part about this, though, is that Zacian is still alive. Like, I think Alex is just getting kind of absorbed by the pressure of this Gastron. The turn 1 was just so brutal. I like the instant adjustment a ton, but I think that it just, oh man. I think that this turn, the max was just fantastic there, and I think that maybe you just had to go for Max Quake, get the KO on a Zacian, and then Parting Shot maybe? I don't know. I don't think he expected Gastron to max is really what happened there. And now we're in a really scary spot. Yeah, what are you supposed to do here? I think if you're Alex, you have to try to get the target of Zacian correct. Because Zacian can target either one. And I feel like if you were to maybe sneak the KO here, like maybe Max Guard and sneak a KO into Zacian, that could be huge for you. So I think that might be the more optimal play. But we're just going to see Zacian withdraw to keep that Zacian alive because Zacian is fantastic in the endgame. Oh my gosh. No matter which one that he hits him with, like Charizard is so safe. You can't Max Quick it. You can't press Max Geyser. Oh my gosh! This is being played so well. This is just fantastic gameplay from Chongjun. Wow. He's destroying Alex every single turn. I think every single turn, he's played better for game 2. Game 1 was really back and forth, and I think it was really close, anyone's game, until P2 came in. But this game, it feels like Chongjun downloaded Alex, and he says, I will destroy you now. And he is doing just that. Yeah. I mean, at this point, what do? You can't kill Gastron anymore. Your max turns are over. Charizard is still healthy as can be. If it has Air Slash, it's actually threatening a KO into Palkia. You haven't gathered any boosts onto Palkia. You haven't Wormwounded anything important that switched out. So, like, I feel like Palkia's max, like, wasn't as good as it could have been. It also boosted Gastron. So, yeah, I would feel really, really good if I was Chongjun in this situation. We're going to see Indeedee go for Protect. That's fine. We're going to see Palkia go for Spatial Run into Charizard. Oh, my God. Another turn? Going the favor of the Sun team. This is just so. If it goes into Palkia, I swear. Oh my God, he's playing so well. Wow. This is brutal. This is just pure control, honestly. Pure and utter control. Wow. I mean, that was fantastic, Max. Every single turn was doing insane damage there. It did half to Indeedee, got the KO into Palkia, which was half HP, and it did about 100%, like 90% to Instant. So it did so much damage to their team. Almost 50% of their team's health was done by this Gastrodon. And like I said, just Max Quake Spam is super safe. And hey, you know why? When you don't have a flying type, it can be really hard to actually deal with Max Quake, especially when you rely on a special attacker like Palkia. So yeah, I don't know what you're supposed to do at this point. Charizard could get KO'd here, but that involves a helping hand play, and if you do that, Gastron's free to EP your Zacian, which I don't even think he's gonna let him do. Actually, you could let Zard die at this point. Zard's done everything it needs to, so it's just gonna go for Blade. Seeing the KO onto Zard at this point, you gotta do it. Does it KO though? I feel like he could live with 1. He lives with 11. I thought it needed helping hand. Well, that's just game. It goes for Blast Burn. Oh, God. Oh, God! Good night, Zacian. Zacian's down. This is over, because all you need to do now is press Sacred Sword until you win, right? There's not much you need to do. The Gastron is so tanky, too. That thing's not even close to going down either. And it's still a +1. That turn 1, like, switch-in was so clutch, honestly. It was just super well played. Super well played game from Chongjun. And I'm excited to see Arand versus Chongjun finals. Mainly because we get to see a rematch of the top 4 match that we already saw with Arand. And I want to see how he adapts this time and how Chongjun plays it. I think it's really interesting to watch someone else play the matchup sometimes. Obviously, Joe's a fantastic player, but I want to see how the matchup looks from this angle. You know, I think it's going to be super exciting to watch to see Arand adjust, because he did almost lose to Joe. But I also know that he's played the matchup 100 times, and playing against Joe is Joe. Joe's a great player, and I think Chongjun's clearly a great player as well. So I'm excited to see this matchup. I really, really am. He's got a full HP Groudon too. This one's over. But yeah, I'm excited to see what comes of game 3 of the finals here. I'm very excited to see the players and see what they're capable of in this matchup, because I think both are clearly demonstrating massive knowledge of Series 12, and they're playing really good Pokemon. I think the matches today, I didn't record any of the top 8 matches, but I remember watching them. I thought like Z versus Arand trailer was fantastic. It was really high level Pokemon, and it was super fun to watch. And I've just enjoyed my matches today. I don't normally like watching Pokemon, to be completely honest with you. Today was different. And I think maybe it's because I just actually really like Series 12, and I have a really itch to play Pokemon, but the matches today have been really good, and I'm excited to see this finals. I genuinely am. I mean, at this point, we're just, you know, wrapping up a nice little bouquet here to win this game. Indeed, he goes down, and then you're just going to press EP, and you're going to take the dub. But yeah, I'm excited to see the finals. This is going to be a hype finals. This is going to be hype. It's the same matchup we saw. A little burn to close out the game. Shed a little bit of that luck before you head into finals, buddy. You're going to need it. This is going to be a good finals. Finals will be posted tomorrow on my channel if you want to watch it here. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the content. Let's see this finals, baby. Have a great, amazing day. See you guys later.